Thank you so much. This poem is titled Living Like a Conveyor. And so the shift work went on and on, 5 days morning shift, 5 days afternoon shift, and then 5 days night shift, any shift, and sometimes double time on a Saturday, even on a Sunday. I was the quality control man in the big giant glass factory with a humongous conveyor belt where bottles would clash and crash, tinker as they trickled down burning bottles. No one had invented a cooling machine yet. Process flow, like a Gandhi dancer on the factory floor. Grab them with all 8 fingers, steady with the thumbs, bits of broken glass etched into the skin. We can worry about that later. Tweezers and bandages, visit the nurse, and occasionally blood and stitches, and sometimes even worse. But just another day at the office, ice buckets. That's how they thought they'd solve the problem of burning bottles, ice buckets. Pour our weary hands in with gloves. An instantaneous effect. Fingers would expand and then swell and then chill, a moment of reprieve. And then action would have to take place all over again. Pick up the bottles, don't delay the coming down the sleigh. Pick them up, put them down, cool the hands, carton and pallet. And later, after 25 years of service when Dad was retrenched, George, just read the blooming formula, why don't you? But I can't read the English. That's right. Flour, salt, sugar, pepper and red capsicum and additives and preservatives, chemicals. Watch it, because they might blow up in your face. God knows what. But I climb up the drum and I open that big giant drum and I carry the 100 kilos on my back and I pour it into the machine, but me, head bowed over, finding it hard to breathe. Day after day, getting worse, and the stuff we mix gets under your skin. I take showers before picking up the kids. Dad, we know what you've been up to today. What's it called again? Booster? Chicken booster? Sorry, kids, about the smell. I tried to shower, but today we had MSG and I'm just so itchy, and this stuff, it just doesn't come off. It just seeps through your pores and burns into your core. I tried to scratch it off, but it just won't come off. Promise me, kids, repeat after me. No MSG. Okay, Dad, we promise, no MSG. But Dad, that smells too much. How can you stand it? I can't stand it, but what are we going to do? We need the money to pay for your fees, to pay for your clothes, to pay for the house, to pay for the car. The car stinks, our bags stink. Your overalls stink. Dad, you stink. About 10 years later, nosebleed. Dad, don't move. Katina. I think I'm passing. Dad, it's not your time. Don't worry about it. Just keep breathing. Small breaths, remember? Like this. Face turning red, I'm losing him, but I said, Dad, you're fine. Just believe me. You'll get through this. Just another one of those episodes. The ambulance is about to arrive. Just don't worry about it. Be cool. I tap his tired body. While we were waiting for first responders, I remember Dad saying, Katina, whatever you do, then end up like me. If I worked in the factory, it was because I wanted you not to have to work with your hands. Dad, I'm trying really hard, but Dad, you clocked off and you came home and we were yours. And we had your full attention, and you knew our name, and you knew the color of our eyes and our favorite food and our birthday parties. You were there. You taught me to do somersaults and at the rings on the park, and you raced me when you were 53 and I was 10, and we laughed our guts out as the fish went everywhere, and the fish went slish and slosh, and I'd lose a flip-flop racing you, and I have to turn back, and you kept running, and Dad, you had the best smile in the world. So I studied hard and I studied a little more, and I loved the thrill of the game. Brute force for me, blasted into my brains, back-breaking games at 12 a.m. because I wasn't going to work in a factory. Darkness to work, darkness to home. What day is it? Who cares? Commissions, bonuses. I can work like a dog for a few weeks. If I can get to travel or maybe just a few days on holiday, I could say I made it to Paris because my parents could really never afford Paris, but Paris was in their hearts. Come to think of it, we only ever traveled together in that Ford Cortina. They carried that perpetual smell of red capsicum. But even still, that was so much fun. And are we there yet? Oh, come on, Dad. Like 2 days later, family was together. 6 people slept in a station wagon, always together, never apart. But now COVID, virtual time zones and more, virtual teams, time shifts, MST, EDT, GMT. Who gives a T? Daylight saving on, daylight saving off. Today is tomorrow here in Australia. Did you know it's already Saturday here, plus 6 hours? And they say mucking about with the body clock can affect your long-term health. Possibly 1 hour, 2 hours, morning, nighttime, shifting and sliding. What day is it again? Are you okay? Are you in pain? Oh, no, you just want to do your work. Okay. Reminds me of Dad's factory work, actually. Though the conditions look slightly different, we don't really resemble a factory these days in our clinical offices, but it feels at times like we're working in the mines, doesn't it? And though my clothes are clean, look at me, I'm really clean, but my mind at times is full of soot. Someone hand me the blue light glasses. Someone get rid of the phone from my hands. Get rid of it. Someone cut that internet connection. Take my laptop away. My electricity, virtually I can hug you, but only with Wi-Fi. Virtually I can do anything. Virtually I can do anything except embrace you and feel your breath against my own skin virtually. Virtually, I wish I could stop, but the machine, it's never finished. And so I may stay up, separated from you, so long as the analog and the digital are separated. Thank you.